The Queer Parent. Everything you need to know from gay to Z.
Written and read by Lotte and Stuart Oakley. This book is to my parents, Roger and Jenny, for their love, understanding and allyship, and of course, my wife and daughter.
For me, this book is for my N, my L and my J. Without you, I wouldn't be a queer parent. And for John, without you, I wouldn't be a husband. And of course, Mum and Dad, as without you, I would not be here.
Hello, I'm Sandi Toksvig, and I wanted to share a few words on why I think The Queer Parent is such an important book. When my then partner and I set out to have kids, it was back in 1987. We were two women so isolated that we had never even heard of lesbians having children. Apart from understanding the mechanics of needing to find a donor, we had no idea about the social, legal, or any other implications. We were not even certain that if we had a child, social services might not come and take the baby away. Now, more than 35 years later, I am introducing a book in which my grown-up son Theo has written a section. When he was born, that beacon of kindness, the Daily Mail, took it upon itself to be appalled, so appalled it was on the front page, and we had to take our newborn son and his two older sisters into hiding to escape the death threats which followed. Today, that precious baby is a man who has the word mums tattooed inside a heart on his shoulder. He boasts of his lesbian parents on his body. The world has changed. How comforting it would have been if back at the beginning we could have had a book like this to turn to with all our many questions. There were so many unknowns, from how to deal with heterosexual presumptions at schools, doctors and so on, to trying our best to keep some less than welcoming members of our family calm. We had to cobble together our own agreement with the donor father and find our own way to negotiate matters which only arise for the LGBTQ+ parent. Some of it was very tough indeed, and we often felt alone in our endeavours. Fortunately, all three of our fabulous kids have grown into even more fabulous adults, and now we are grandparents. We must have got something right, but what heartache we might have been saved along the way if there had been others to guide us along. Hard to believe, but this is the first ever UK mainstream LGBTQ+ parenting book. I am so glad it is here, and only sorry it didn't arrive sooner. This book speaks to the more than 1.3 million people in the UK who identify as LGBTQ+, and to those around them, friends and family, who want to support any of the queer community who have, or want to have, families. It might even be a book to hand over to a teacher, health provider, or anyone else who has contact with queer parents and their kids. It is that rare thing, an essential publication. I hope it brings you calm. I know it will bring you good sense, and there's also a few laughs along the way. Thank you for listening. Over to Lotte and Stu now for the rest of the audiobook.
Introduction. Newsflash, 90% of queer parenting is simply parenting. We're not unfurling pride flags as we try and change our screaming baby's dirty nappy in the disabled loo at a restaurant. Nor are we discussing gender binaries while trying to extract a toddler from a bouncy castle, and we've all been there. And we're certainly not thinking about the heteronormative injustice of crippling fertility costs for lesbians while desperately trying to download the latest episode of Hey Dougie for a small person on the verge of an Elton-sized tantrum. No. In these everyday moments, we are so focused on keeping our kids safe and happy that we'd probably not even notice if RuPaul was standing next to us serving serious side-eye.
What, then, is the point of this book, we hear you cry? Well, before you turn it off and decide that your mum was right, routine and a good swaddle is all you need after all. Listen, being queer, when you're a parent or a parent-to-be, brings with it a whole host of conundrums that heterosexual parenting gurus can even begin to fathom. And while it's true that raising kids is a great democratiser, and we might actually be able to find something in common with Schoolgate Suze, it's this other layer of being a minority and dealing with everything that entails that means we seek comfort and reassurance from a community of LGBTQ+ people with children. And if you are a Schoolgate Suze or an ally, or even just a curious cis heterosexual person, then welcome to our queer world. We can't wait for you to discover more and enjoy the educational ride
Sample complete. Ready to continue?